Hi everyone, Judo fan here. I'm going to do my first judo breakdown, grip fighting analysis, and the match that I have chosen is the 2012 open weight championships in Japan. This is the fourth round match between double world champion Yasuyuki Muneta, who you see on the screen. He's 170 centimeters and 125 kilograms. His opponent, Hirotaka Kato, would go on in this tournament to be the lightest champion of this competition in the modern judo era. He competed at the under 90 kilogram category at this time, but I think he was probably closer to 100 kilograms for this match. I'm not exactly sure, but it would be safe to say that there was at least a 25, probably closer to 30 kilogram weight disparity between the two. And so it made for a very interesting tactical gripping matchup. Both of them are left-handed, so this is a same side. In judo, we call it Aiyotsu contest. And Kato is going to lead with his left foot, and Muneta is going to lead with his right foot. Now, generally speaking, in a same-sided match, you want to lead with whichever foot you are going to, well, if you're right-handed, you lead with your right foot. If you're left-handed, you lead with your left foot. Muneta does not do this in same-sided matches, and I will explain some of that a little bit later, but let's watch this first exchange. So here, to start things off, Kato goes to post his right hand on Muneta's lapel. Muneta senses this and disengages. And it's going to be the same pattern here. Boom. Gets the lapel. Now, in exchange, hard to see. Here we go. Here's a good shot, a good angle. Muneta answers by grabbing Kato's left hand sleeve and also places his left hand on top of Kato's right wrist and applies a slight downward pressure. There are multiple reasons to do this, but one of them is ultimately Kato wants to get his right hand on Muneta's left sleeve. Okay, that is primarily what he wants. But by putting his hand here, he can sense and he can feel when Kato is going to disengage this lapel or let go of the lapel and switch over to here. And he will be better prepared to more quickly stop that gripping sequence from Kato. Now Kato is fishing for the sleeve with his left hand, which is tied up, but he's going to come under and try to grab the sleeve. Now, this would be very risky against Muneta maybe 10 years prior to this match taking place. The reason is Muneta could come in with a Sode Tsurikomi Goshi or attack the left side of Kato, which is kind of exposed by taking this gripping sequence. However, by this time in Muneta's career, he was primarily going to Uchimata and Taiotoshi. And in fact, he was primarily winning his matches by outgripping his opponents. But now we have Kato has been able to get a hold of this sleeve. So now he's going to try to transition to feed this, using this hand to feed the sleeve into his right hand so that he can get a more orthodox grip. So let's see how that plays out. So there it is. He feeds it to his right hand. Remember, Muneta has his left hand, so that's a 50-50 now. They both have one of each other's sleeves. And Kato puts in an attack. It doesn't work, but he gets into his favorite place, which is on the mat, and he goes for his Kato Gaeshi. He's trying to get Muneta's arm right now for an ude garami. Muneta knows this is coming and applies his own ude garami, but it's both of them are unsuccessful. I have never seen Muneta lose a match in newaza once. He's got great newaza, and of course that is probably Kato's strongest part of his judo is the newaza, but he's not going to get that with Muneta. So they're going to start again, and it's going to be the same grouping exchange. Muneta leads with his right. Kato posts with his right hand. Okay. And they're coming to the same thing. Now Muneta is going to go for the lapel. Kato doesn't like that. He switches it up and accidentally pokes Muneta in the eye. Have no idea why, but Muneta used to always get poked in the eye or loses contact in matches. That one right there didn't seem like it was on purpose, but it makes you wonder because it almost seems like a compulsory part of Muneta's judo matches is to get poked in the eye at some point. But here they go again. Now, Muneta has a lapel, and Kato wants to break that off. So some people on the Reddit judo thread, this is for you guys, were talking about grip breaking and what they needed to do to strengthen their grips. And I replied that I think you need to get strong all around, as well as building your technique, because you've got to employ your entire body to break grips oftentimes. I mean, depending on the situation, of course, but let's look at what happens with Kato. He wants to get this right hand of Muneta's off of the lapel. So what he does first is he's going to tighten up all the slack on Muneta's sleeve right over by his wrist. Not on the elbow, but right here by his wrist. Okay? And then using his hips, he is going to push away and also lower his center of gravity, while at the same time pushing in a downward motion with his hands and his upper body in order to break this grip off here. Let's see how this occurs. Boom, right there. It doesn't work, okay? And so now he's got to do something because Muneta is the stronger athlete, and this is not good for Kato. Boom, Muneta gets the back of the collar. This is looking really bad for Kato, so he has to do something. Boom, immediately he goes for the tomoe nage as a kind of throwaway escape, really, so that they can start again. Kato is super disciplined, and he always stays on track. He doesn't deviate from the plan, which is to go for a throw as soon as he gets into a vulnerable position. Now, boom. Here's another thing I wanted to talk about. That kata guruma comes off of the grip break. I have a lot of athletes at my dojo, especially the younger ones who are less experienced, who, if they cannot get their own dominant grip, they cannot throw. And what Kato is very good at is that he uses the grip breaks in order to create openings for himself. So here, Muneta is going for the over the back collar. Kato has his sleeve. Muneta knows he needs to break that sleeve grip, or else he's not going to have a secure grip over Kato's collar. So he comes out and he tries to break the grip here. Sorry, I went a little bit too far forward. Yeah, I didn't go back far enough. Let me just do that one more time. He wants to break this grip. Right there. Boom. Now, he does not have any hand on Kato's judogi at all. It's free. And that is going to give Kato the space and the time to turn in for a technique. And so he does that right away with this Kataguruma. Boom. So if you're listening, one of the things is to get used to practicing uchikomi off of the grip break. Have your opponent do a grip break, and at that moment, come in for your favorite throws. That's going to help your judo in Dandori. That one didn't work out, but here they start out again. And now it's very important to know that Kato has attacked twice. Muneta has not attacked at all. And so this next exchange, Muneta is going to have to attack unless he wants to get a Shido. Okay, now, one of the reasons that Kato likes to post his right hand here is that he knows that in a same-sided match, the opponent is going to want to come over the back, okay? And because he's usually of a smaller stature and less strong, he has to keep this close to the armpit or close to his chest, so that when the grip does come, he can use his right hand to push in this direction. He's going to push in this direction, and that way it will create a distance in this area, and he can pop off the grip or not even allow the grip to get placed. He has a sleeve again. Muneta's not going to like it. He's using that right hand very effectively to keep Muneta's left hand from getting a grip. Now, he switched up his style a little bit. Before, he was coming underneath his right hand to catch the sleeve. Now he's going over his right hand to catch the sleeve. And I would say against Muneta 10 years prior to this would have been very dangerous. But Muneta is definitely not going to put in a right-sided attack at this point in his career, so it's fairly safe. Fishing, right? It's fishing. Can't get it. Goes for a pretty half-hearted attack, but he knows that he's in the driver's seat because he's attacked 3 times. Muneta has yet to attack, and they're well into the match. Muneta probably should have a Shido already, but he hasn't. He definitely needs to get an attack this time. So he puts in a very half-hearted attack, but it does break Kato's balance. So now he's safe for the time being. And they square up once again. Same gripping pattern. Searching for that sleeve. Now Kato's in a bad place. He has to pop off that grip, okay, overhead. And now he's in a precarious position. He has his back turned to Muneta. And Muneta is pushing on Kato this way, because if Kato does not resist, he's going to get pulled out of bounds. At least this is the plan. He's going to get pushed out of bounds. if he resists and squares up and turns his hips in a counterclockwise direction, then he plays right into Muneta's hands. Muneta can then get the collar grip while he has this hand all tied up, and he can go in for one of his favorite throws. So this is a very dangerous situation for Kato. Lots of athletes would just allow themselves to get pushed out of bounds. He's up by a Shido, and they'd just gladly take a Shido in order to start out the gripping sequence again. But Kato is very savvy. He runs around to avoid getting pushed out of bounds, takes his time, and gets his hand back on. Now it's back to a more comfortable stage, and I would say Muneta really wasted that opportunity there to capitalize on that gripping exchange. Again, Kato breaks the grip. Kato breaks the grip here. Boom, and he's going to go immediately into Seoi Nage. Doesn't work, but he stays on plan. He goes right again for his Kato Gaeshi. Ain't going to work with, it won't work with Muneta, but it's definitely good. Now Muneta gets the first Shido. 4 attacks to 1. You can't have that kind of ratio without getting a penalty. So now Kato's really in the driver's seat in this match. Muneta hasn't really done anything that's put him in any danger. And he hasn't gotten comfortable with the grips once yet in these exchanges. He's only had the collar grip for maybe a total of 5 seconds. But here he goes. Now he gets the over the back. Kato has to bail out. And boom, he dominated that exchange. And Kato gets the Shido for passivity. He's getting just ragdolled around. When you're the lighter opponent, you can't give up those types of grips where your head is down. You've got to break them sooner, and Kato knows that, and he's usually pretty good at avoiding those situations. Now, I said at the beginning of this of this video that Muneta likes to lead with his right foot, and which is quite unorthodox. I think it's quite unusual. You would have to ask him why he does that personally. My guess, or what I think he's doing, is he needs to keep some distance of this shoulder in order to prevent his opponents from getting it too soon. He relies on this collar grip, as I've said so many times. And because of his short stature, remember, he's usually facing opponents who are a lot taller in the plus 100 kilogram category, that he has to keep this half of his body as far away as he can in a same-sided gripping situation so that he has the ability to grab this collar. Another thing is that I think he uses his right hand. You can't see it yet, but he uses his right hand to grab the lapel or the sleeve and to pull his opponent in and down to shorten the distance here. And so, I wouldn't recommend leading with your right foot if you're a left-handed player. But if you're wondering why he does it, I think that's why. And now the tide has shifted somewhat. I think Kato may be tiring, and Muneta is now able to get more of the grips that he wants, and Kato is continually having to bail out and just dive to the ground. But of course, Muneta doesn't have probably the speed that he used to in order to capitalize on these exchanges. Now they're back into a 50-50 situation. And basically the same grouping patterns play out over and over again in this match. Muneta still has the record for most appearances at All Japan Openweight Championships. I think it was 16 times or something like that. Just an incredible career. And Kato, regularly, he only won it once, but he's been to the finals 2 years ago. And he's taken third place a number of times, and just an absolutely incredible judoka. Very good techniques, and incredible amount of power too. I mean, to be 90 kilograms and to be facing people 30 kilograms heavier than you for 4 or 5 matches in a row on the same day, with nowadays we have unlimited time clocks with the golden score system. He's just an incredible athlete, and one of my favorites to watch. Both of these guys are probably 2 of my favorite judoka of all time. And time is running out, and it's going to go to a decision. I always wanted Muneta to win one of these. I was there in 2009 when he faced Takamasa Anai in the finals and lost barely. I think it was a split decision, but I knew at that time it was probably going to be his last chance. Unfortunately, he loses here as well, but he continued on and just recently retired. But both of these guys, really good competitors, and that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video breakdown. If you liked it, please let me know. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the time or the ability to keep doing these, but yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how I can improve it. And thank you so much if you watched all the way to the end, or even if you didn't watch to the end. Thank you very much, and I hope to be able to post one of these again sometime soon. Take care.